it's been amazing, and we're just going to show you all the stuff that you're not supposed to see about Dive Bomb, all the behind the scenes, what's going on. So you're not going to want to miss this video. You get to see some new product, like like what they did with the calling contest, all that stuff. It's all right here, so stay tuned. Man, myth lesson, Kyle Jones.
Man, I'm so glad you guys are here, all the way from freaking Oregon. I'm a Washingtonian, so
I didn't realize. Yeah, Strand was telling me you grew up in Washington.
Yeah, West Side. Yeah. Now I live in the East Side, so. Yeah, we got some really cool calling contests going on. Back when we thought, kind of were brainstorming, we wanted to, waterfowl festivals have always had call vendors, they've always had beer, they've always had food, and just really good, fellowship. And the calling contest just kind of bring it in as a whole. So we wanted something for beginners, we wanted something for the pros, and it's for kids, man. So we kind of got some big payouts, $5 grand for first place. No, man, I'm not. I figured I'm organizing the whole thing. I don't think it would look very good if I was competing. But yeah, it's been pretty cool. It's actually, this is the largest novice goose and the largest novice duck that I've seen since I've been calling.
Really?
In 2000, I started calling in 2007, and it's the biggest contest I've seen so far. So 23 in the novice goose, and then 30 in the novice duck.
Really?
Yeah.
How about on the open stuff?
The open stuff. So the open meat duck already has 21 signed up for it. It'll probably be close to 30 when it's all said and done. But $5 grand payout, so it's gonna be pretty cool.
Sweet,
pretty cool.
Yeah. Tell us more, like just the Squad Fest, just kind of the COVID deal. It was like
we were sweating bullets here a few weeks ago because the city of Maryland Heights requires a permit submission 6 weeks in advance, and it was like we didn't know until like 3 weeks ago that we were actually approved for it. So we submitted this application for this permit back in beginning of April. And it's now middle of June, and we didn't hear until the end of May, So it's like we were sweating. We were like, man, are they going to let us have it? And then we added a road closure. We added some other stuff, and then the buses. It was a lot. We were really nervous that COVID might keep us from, but we're glad it worked out.
It's cool. No, it's awesome to see you guys here and what you've done, and just the culture, and it's pretty rad.
It's cool, man, because you guys know with your social media being so strong, it's cool to talk to guys all over the DMs.
Yeah, right.
But then actually putting a name and face together and talking to those guys and being like, oh yeah, I was talking to you about hunting in Southeast Wisconsin. Like, that's what it's all about, man. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, good work.
Thanks, brother. Thank
you. Cody with Dive Bomb here. Thought I'd give you a brief history of the company. 2010, I took pictures of geese at a local park and printed them on plastic, and we came out with our first product, which is the Canada Goose Silhouette. Predates the V2, V2 being the second version. But I sold 500 dozen on Craigslist, started advertising in magazines, and then took to social media, and 10 years later we're in about 50,000 square feet. 30 SKUs of decoys, 250 SKUs of product, 23 employees, and we're growing like crazy. So, absolute dream come true. Everyone says it's the American dream. I think it is. So
cool. It's like I grew up hunting over Outlaws.
Yeah, Outlaw was a St. Louis company.
Yeah. Oh, was it really?
Yeah, Outlaw was a St. Louis company, and just before I'd started this, Outlaw had gone under. So the only silhouette in the game at the time was Real Geese.
Real Geese.
Yeah. So it was Real Geese and us, and then a lot of people followed suit with the corrugated plastic and then the U-stake. We were the originators of the U-stake, so I think there's 5 different players in the industry using U-stakes.
Yeah, no, it's cool to see the evolution and like bringing that back in and just crushing over them.
And the Silhouette's nothing new. I mean, it's a 100-year-old plus product, but it's never been.
Have you ever seen the old Johnson ones?
I've seen the ones with the pinned neck that comes up and down.
That was my very first.
Cool. I remember my neighbor had some ones cut out of plywood. We went and stole from her and took them out and used them. They actually worked. I think we gave them back, maybe not. Sorry if you're listening. But anyway, it's just been a wild ride.
Sweet.
Hope it keeps going. I'm going to give you the nickel warehouse tour, operations tour here.
The nickel tour.
The nickel tour, right. So, so what you're in right now is what we dub Unit 2. It's pretty much raw storage for anything silhouette, socks, and bags. So on the other side of the wall, which I'll take you shortly, we have a fulfillment line, and this is basically what fuels that, fuels that line. And these back offices behind you two and behind the lens is more of the creative side of things. In this office, we have engineer, product development, brand manager, and then some accounting and HR people over there. Just a little bit of nostalgia. This printing press and that original screen on the ground is where we printed our first sets of shirts. So starting out, my father was a screen printer.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I worked at a screen shop in college, you know, part-time deal.
Very cool.
Screens.
Yeah, it's massy.
Yeah, yeah.
And in summers in St. Louis, it's like 105, 100% humidity. So with the volumes increasing, I think we burned them out, and we burned the screen out, and now we push it out.
Okay.
We got outsource it, and then we bring it in. And on the other side of the wall, I'll show you where it's processed. So this is the original unit, or Unit 1. We really don't call it that. That's been my name for the tour. But this zone is apparel. And then on the other side of this wall, we have fulfillment for all the decoys, bags, socks, anchors, daggers, and such. So when an order comes in, the operations side of the building, the packing slips printed, starts on the far end of the building, gets fulfilled with whatever apparel, decals, koozies, accessories, mugs, whatever they want. And then if it has additional products such as decoys or bags or socks, it goes to this other fulfillment line, gets filled, married with the product, inspected, taped, and then taken to the UPS truck with a label, and out the door goes. Machine shop, vertical mill, lathe, horizontal bandsaw, vertical bandsaw, some drill presses, some welding stuff. So engineers out here a lot, our quality manager and basically our facility managers in here welding up fixtures or racks or whatever he needs to do to help speed things up in fulfillment or processing.
How many employees here?
23. Further on down the line, this is our quality control lab. So full-time quality manager sits at this desk and runs around inspecting product as it comes in before it goes to the shelf. If anything's flagged for non-conformance, it gets isolated and then brought into this room for a full-blown inspection. In addition, the shirts, hats, hoodies, all that stuff is branded, folded, inspected, labeled, bagged, and tagged, and goes out to the shelf to be shipped on the orders. And then back in this office, I won't take you in there because they're working right now, but this is operations side of things. So shipping, receiving, operations manager that manages all of the inbound and outbound of the product, and hourly guys that work on the floor on the fulfillment line. And then around the hook is our fulfillment line that we put together for last peak season. So this is basically a dinosaur. We're getting ready to uproot this whole infrastructure in here and orient everything long ways. So we're going to take it and double it, and we're going to have a line A and a line B. So in slow season, we'll run one line, and peak season, we'll have an additional line. So it'll be a mirrored set. So V2s, V2S, V2As on down, and then a powered roller in the middle. So
Really?
yep.
It's like the full-on factory production right here.
But if you want to take a peek down here, this is just the down and dirty fulfillment of orders from this show. We had flash sale yesterday for 2 hours that we did an ungodly amount of business in. So yesterday the showroom was swamped, and today the back end folks are swamped with orders that they're getting ready to fill in tomorrow. So they were outside this morning. Customers showed up at 7. Everyone was here ready. Microphones, walkie-talkies, the whole deal, taking orders like a Chick-fil-A drive-thru. Yeah, pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the chaos, really.
Yeah. No,
Yep. So, what do you think? Pretty crazy?
Yeah, I think like just from my standpoint, like the scaling and what you guys have done is just unbelievable. To continue, like the growth, right? I mean, it's easy to meet the hype, but then to actually match it with the product and the quality is pretty insane.
So we had the product, had the quality, had the price, and then about 5 years in, we had great growth. 5 years in, really got into social media, met Asher. Asher took the helm of all the social and online presence and just sent it to the moon. It's a steroid.
Yeah.
So organic was basically the way this started, and it still is organic, but it's through socials at this point.
Right.
So,
yeah.
the forum does well. Instagram's obviously hot. YouTube channel we're building.
Anything you want to talk about that you've got coming out that's kind of like
Coming out. So our silhouette line's pretty full. V2A is an alternative position line that's coming out, so we already have it out for our Canadas. So it's V2A, V2AF, which is flocked. An additional silhouette will be the V2FF, which is a fully flocked version. So anyone who's skeptical of any glare, the whole unit is flocked, so there's absolutely no reflectivity in it whatsoever. And then the floater line is developing. We had our mallards out last year, unbelievable value, unbelievable price, and the carvings and painting and the quality overall, just a total freaking home run. Honker line coming out next week, which should be, what would that be, late June. And then specs, pintails, widgeon, blue wing teal, hopefully all before the end of the year, all in floaters. So beefing up a floater line. And then the gear side of things. So the technical line, or DB gear, what we're dubbing it, power hoodie, the airweight mid-layer jacket, both smash successes. We have shells coming out, bibs, base layers, and we even have some, I think, muck style boots coming out. And then additionally, some cool stuff the engineer are working on our power flag, our super flag, collapsible flag with carbon fiber handle, won't break, tapered wings, almost indestructible. Everyone's complaining about flags that last 5 minutes. This one will last 5 years. A-frame, kickback, which is our layout, kickstand, which is barrel rest, and I could just keep going, but I'd be out of breath.
Yeah, like I said.
Yeah, I don't know what else really we got.
So this all, you said this all feeds that side?
Yep, this all feeds that side. So we have our fulfillment line is basically a spoonful of all of the products. And early in the morning, basically the fulfillment manager or warehouse manager will come in with a forklift and he'll backfill all of the empty locations and keep the production line running. Little customer area, bass boat I'm looking to sell. And this is the back end of the calling contest today.
Tell us about the idea of Squad Fest. How that's
so in the middle of COVID, the Worlds were canceled. Basically every calling contest was canceled. So in the midst of it, we said, let's just have a blowout. Big cash prizes, draw on a bunch of big names, have a flash sale. We never have sales, so that drew in a bunch of people. Catered food, cheap beer, and here we are, Squad Fest 2021. So awesome shuttles, air-conditioned shuttles, high-end shuttles, hotel up the street, and hopefully this thing doubles every year. So
yeah, logistically it was pretty sweet to fly in. We grabbed an Uber to the hotel here in 5 minutes. Like it all was just smooth.
Yep, and then out front, I think we have 15 different call vendors from all over the country. You know, big ones. You got Grounds, Molt Gear, JT. But yeah, Squad Fest, basically just a big summit of all of our friends, fans, family, employees, and hopefully have a good time and maybe an after party tonight where everyone can kick back and relax. So
perfect.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you guys. Appreciate you coming out.
It's good. So we're in the back. You guys aren't supposed to see this stuff, but Asher, it's like, come on, we got to go check this out. If you guys haven't met Asher, former Major League pitcher. Yeah. And kind of the brains behind the social world of Dive Bomb and what they do.
Yeah. It's hot. We're having fun out there. Most of my career, 10 years, but most of it was spent in the upper levels of the minor leagues. So, don't give me too much credit. No, this has been absolutely awesome. Thrilled to finally meet Cody in person. Yeah, you know, you guys to come out, make this long trip. This is pretty cool. But you know, this is just crazy. The way this whole thing has come together, and just kind of sitting there and seeing the amount of callers, the amount of excitement. There's all these callers coming up to me and they're saying, man, I haven't seen a contest with this many people like actively watching callers since like the heyday of calling contests. This is incredible.
You guys like re-injuvenated
the number of guys that have entered the novice goose and the novice meat duck, just creating some excitement that really has died. The open contest, the open meat duck is going on right now with a huge payout. We're going to have open goose later, and just the number of people participating compared to the trend that we've been seeing with competition calling.
And the young blood here is like,
yeah, you know, so I think some of these, it's kind of built some excitement for people to say, hey, we've got some up and comers, some guys with some skill. This thing might not be totally dead just yet. So it's been absolutely amazing, very, very humbling just to see it all come together. We started talking about this, we were hunting mid-December. I want to say we were all together somewhere, maybe Idaho or something, and we were like, what if we had our own event? You know, what if we, you know, because we're direct to consumer, we do our own thing, we're kind of on our own island. And what if we did our own thing? You know, what if we've got the connections to make this thing happen? We've got great relationships all over, even great relationships with people that don't necessarily use our product. Lots of friends in the industry and professionals and people that, you know, just want to help us out, be a part of something. And we started putting the idea together. Kyle and Forrest just have incredible contest calling backgrounds. They've been around this stuff. Me, you know, the marketing side, the ins and outs of that and different relationships, that's kind of in my wheelhouse. But contest calling, you know, it's, you know, I've visited Stuttgart and seen the whole Main Street scene. But, you know, as far as laying it out and organizing it and the things that you need to make it flow and go successfully is not really in my wheelhouse. So we had those two guys that have grown up around this stuff. They've been around this stuff, and they've done a great job putting it together. And then, you know, from the middle pieces to the back end pieces, everybody else has helped this thing just come together. And, you know, what we hoped would be a great success, and people have a lot of fun. Everybody I've talked to just seems to be happy. You know, they all got sweat on their foreheads because it's hot and it's humid out here. Like you said, I've got pants on, but they're decently breathable. But, you know, everybody seems to be just enjoying themselves and having a great time. The compliments that we've gotten and the excitement from people that have been in this game a long time. Like I said, like I was telling some people earlier, I don't really have that gauge for what's a good show, what's a great show, what's a not so good show. I don't. You know, I just kind of had a number in my head based on the excitement we were trying to build through social media of where I maybe thought it was, and this has probably exceeded that number, what I thought, by 4 or 5 times.
Yesterday they were lined up to the road to come in.
Yeah, and it was just craziness. It was chaotic, but, you know, we worked through it. We've got a great team from the people that you see all the time, you know, myself and Kate and Forrest and Kyle. But the stuff that goes on in the back end, like the true MVPs of the operation. And another thing about this, I think it's cool, people that have seen this tours, they kind of see how this thing comes together. How does this stuff come from here to the field that they're hunting in? Right. So not just the contest and the vendors and the great food and just hanging out, but just seeing the whole full circle of a direct-to-consumer operation. I think it's just maybe not super cool or interesting to everybody, but I think a lot of people have enjoyed it.
I know for me, I'm just like, it's, see the scale of it, what you guys done in the short amount of time. And you were like #1 employee, right?
Yeah, so I mean,
Cody, and so you've been here from the ground up.
Yeah, not the base ground, but yeah, I mean,
2 years into it.
Yeah, I came on with Cody, and he's like a mentor, a brother. He's been good to me. He's trusted me with a lot of stuff. He's just put a lot of faith and trusted me that you know, we could grow this thing and take it to places, honestly, that none of us ever imagined. But we hold our guys to a very high standard. Cody holds me to a high standard, and the guys that work in out-of-house marketing, they're held to a very similar standard. And you know, I've told people, they say, "What's the ultimate goal? What are you making? Where's," you know, it's like, man, we don't have a goal. We're direct consumer. We're going to chase the demand. If customers want it, you know, I'm not making polls in Facebook and Facebook group just to interact for no reason. We're gathering data. We want to know what people want. What are they going to use? What products can be improved upon? And how can we provide a better experience in the field at a cost-efficient way, essentially? How can we open up different avenues for people that may not have been able to do it otherwise? And so the team that we've got, from the marketing people that you see all the time to people that are kicking ass back here, front offices, you know, our volunteers, it's just phenomenal, top to bottom. Very blessed to just be here. But ultimately, the goal is, as we grow and as we get really, really big, no matter how big it becomes, whether maybe in years, maybe this might not even be big to us. Hopefully it's not. the goal is to keep getting bigger, but the ultimate goal is we want to keep the same. We want to stay good at what got us here. The way I think about it, I think my mind thinks in sports and competitive terms. So, I spent a lot of years in AA, AAA. You get called up to the big leagues. You don't go to the big leagues and change what got you to the big leagues because you're like, oh shoot, all of a sudden I'm in the big leagues. I went from AA to the big leagues. I got to change. I got to be somebody I'm not. No, do what you're good at. Stick to what you're good at. And what we are good at is we interact with customers on a level that I believe is completely unmatched. I think that it gives us the ultimate edge over anybody. I don't think there's anybody that gives their attention to detail to their customers and not only what they want and what they want to see, but how can we help them have a better experience in the field. If somebody calls me and they need a suggestion on what they need to run and what species, we're going to find out how are you currently doing it, what are you doing, how big are the feeds, what are your options for your hide. We're not know-it-alls, but when you hunt 150 days a year with the best in the industry, your learning curve gets accelerated very, very fast. I'm not a big game hunter, but I bet if I spent a week with you, my learning curve would be accelerated faster than somebody that just picked it up ground up. That's the natural progression of how things work. And we pick up stuff from guys that are really, really good at what they do, and we can take that information and we can pass it along to our customers. And in turn, they see great success in the field because we're going to steer somebody in the wrong direction. If there might be a product that we need to move, but if that's not the right product for that particular application, we're not going to push it. It's not a big deal. That product will move. We're going to give them what they need to succeed if they ask us for help. And if there's somebody that knows that can give a better answer, or I don't feel like I'm giving the best answer, I can guarantee you I've got somebody that I can call or text and I can get the answer very fast. And that down to probably the same county as that person that is looking to have more success in what somebody else is doing. So I just think that is the X factor for Dive Bomb Industries. I mean, there's other people that make lots of great decoys. Lots of great decoys out there. A lot of killing decoys. They've been killing silhouettes killing birds over silhouettes way before Dive Bomb Industries came around.
The original outlaw was.
There are 100. Birds have been killed over flat decoys for about 100 years now. Once they outlawed live birds, they started making tin stakes with railroad spikes, and they've been killing birds over them for a long time. So by no means have we ever claimed to be the inventors of the silhouette. We've just tried to take good and make it better, and I ultimately believe the X factor with our competitors, there's such little differences between everybody, and if you can do a lot of the little things right, I think you can separate yourselves from the people you're competing with. And I feel like our biggest X factor is the way we view our customers, the way we look after our customers, whether it's that kid that's 14 years old that mowed lawns all summer to get 5 dozen V2s in a bag, or if it's the outfitter that's ordering, they're ordering for 4 spreads and they're ordering 350, 400 dozen for the season. So we want to give everybody the same experience, the same attention. So as we get bigger, guys might have to work harder, have to bring on more people, but the goal is to keep that same experience that they've always had with us from the time this whole thing took off, when you could just call Cody directly and order your V2 Canadas off Craigslist. That's the whole way it started. You guys probably heard that. So that's ultimately, regardless of what happens here, size, that is the ultimate goal for us. So
job well done, man. So stoked to be out here.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, can't wait to share blind with you.
Absolutely.
Go shoot some cacklers in the Northwest.
Let's do it, man. Those fully flocked V2s. I think we're gonna make it happen.
Yeah. So, guys, Squad Fest, we're about wrapped up. We got to catch a flight home. It's been a blast. Just getting to, like Asher said, over the years you see people on social, and now you get to shake hands, meet it. So next year, if you guys want to come check it out, I'm sure they're going to do a second annual.
This has been pretty awesome.
First annual, so it's not
where we're at right now. I would say we're probably going to have another one.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Sweet, man.
Thank you.
Yeah. Perfect. Guys, dude, it's been a blast here at Dive Bomb. if you missed Squad Fest, you'll have the opportunity next year. I know they got big plans. This was their inaugural event. They killed it. They had a great turnout, great people here from all over. Met people hunting different flyaways, different species, doing all sorts of different stuff. It's really cool to see all the waterfowl community come together. Heard some amazing calls on stage and all the call booths out there. We'll definitely be out here next year. Oh yeah, the man right there, Trevor Pacific. But we'll be out here next year for sure, full crew, blowing calls in the booth, and just, yeah, super excited. Oh, was that a sneak peek of what's happening? Yeah, kind of slipped that one up, guys. Got some huge news coming. Mr. Strand and what he has done over the years with his call designs and all that might be coming back home, and under Born and Raised, we've got some new waterfowl stuff that's coming out very, very soon. So super excited when we break that news. Stay tuned. So thanks guys for tuning in. We'll see you on the next one.
No worries over nickels and dimes, or a 9-to-5 grind. I gotta get loose sometimes. In trouble.